I could be wrong, but it seems to me like we're on time. That's a rarity here on SML TV, being on time and all. Give you a couple of minutes for you guys to jump on, even though conventional wisdom tells us never to do that. Conventional wisdom tells you that as soon as you hit the record button, boom, start talking. People will catch all of this on the replay. Guys, tell me in the comments, how's the lighting? Because they tell you with vlogging and recording, lighting is king. If you get the lighting right, you start there, then your video has hope. Okay, it starts with lighting. Audio is the big king, but lighting is, that's the deal. Somebody please explain to me, tell me in the comments below if it's not too much trouble. Tell me if this lighting is okay. Because, sometimes you never know. We're a one-man show here at SML TV. So I don't have anybody that stands behind the camera and makes sure that the sound is on and the focus it's in focus. I do all of that by myself. The little knowledge I have about lighting, I get from YouTube. But even then, I don't know if the lighting is perfect. So what I need you to do, Royce Wadia says the lighting is good, but is it perfect? That's the question. We don't want it to be good. We don't want it to be okay. We don't want the lighting to be just. We want it to be perfect. Okay? It's okay, somebody says. Well, we don't want okay. Huh? Joan says it's okay. No, what we want is it's perfect. Now, if it's not perfect, don't say it's not perfect. If it's not perfect, don't say it's perfect. If it's okay, say it's okay. But if it's not perfect, don't say it's perfect. All right. You're perfect and excellent. Well, thank you so much. Guys, this song that's been on my mind. Before I jumped on the live, I was singing this song. I was humming this song to myself. Tell me if you guys know this song. I'm going to break this down for you, see if you recognized who sang this song. I'm going to give you a couple of lyrics here. Okay, here it is. You ready? Trust in me, just in me. Put all your trust in me. You're doing morphine. Relax. This won't hurt you. Before I put it in, close your eyes and count to 10. Don't cry. I won't convert you. There's no need to dismay. Close your eyes and drift away. Demerol. Demerol, oh God, he's taking Demerol. Ooh, Demerol. Demerol, oh God, he's taking Demerol. You guys know what Demerol is? Tell me if you know what Demerol is in the comments. Who sang that song? Could somebody tell me who sang that song? I'll throw your name up here if you tell me. Guys, it's an easy song. It's an easy song. You guys don't know. I can tell you don't know because you're not saying it in the comments. Okay, let's get into this real quick. Somebody says the lyrics are too deep. You guys do know what Demerol is, yeah? Somebody says you better keep your day job. You can't sing. I know it. I know. Guys, let's get into this real quick. I know I did say, and you can see on the title there, I want to take a few minutes to talk about our vice president, Mrs. W.K Mutale Nalumango. For those of you that do not know, she is our Republican vice president. Before I get into that, though, let me just make mention of just two things that have been happening in the news, and I just want to comment on this very quickly. You guys know that Jamie Foxx has had a health scare. He was taken off to hospital, and his daughter One of his children, his oldest daughter, I forget her name now, she issued a statement talking about how, through the quick intervention of the medical personnel, they rushed him to hospital. He was stable. But for a couple of days there, nobody really knew what was going on with Jamie Foxx. Well, it's just now come out that he probably had some type of stroke. Some people are talking about an aneurysm. Okay, and immediately, because he's out of commission, he can't. He's in hospital. He can't work. They found a replacement for him, and there's a stunt double that's doing his work right now. It just goes to show you that each one of us are expendable. Do you know what it means to be expendable? It means we can be replaced at the drop of a hat. So it's important, I think, to gain a clear perspective of our role in not only our lives, but in the lives of the people that matter to us. So yes, work is important. Yes, making a living is important, but we must always remember that none of us are irreplaceable. All of us can be replaced, will be replaced once we go. The moment I leave, the moment God says, well, come home, honey, somebody's going to step in my shoes almost immediately. And they're not even going to miss a beat. Okay. So we're wishing and praying for Jamie Foxx to recover. The other thing is, I recently heard, and I was very sad to hear this, very sad to hear that Jerry Springer, the famous daytime talk show host, who really did what he did in a very unique way. He was on television. He brought about this idea that, regular people, trailer trash, as they call them, would go on TV and display their antics. And, there was a time, remember when Jerry Springer first came on television, very unconventional because it was anti-Oprah, meaning it was very different from Oprah's style of doing talk shows, and all of a sudden you had this man who, I think he served as mayor of Cincinnati for a while, very intelligent man, this Caucasian guy, wore glasses, and he spoke very well. And then he would ask these people, dysfunctional people, I mean, people that were just totally messed up, people that needed therapy more than anything else. They would jump on the show, and he would, at the end of the show, he would sort of summarize what we had just watched. And then he always added this little line that I've always loved. And ever so often, on occasion, I use this line. I got it from Jerry Springer. At the end of the show, he would say, take care of yourselves and each other. Remember that? And I was very sad to hear that Jerry Springer died and passed away. All righty. Let's get into this. Mrs. W.K Nalumango, the Vice President of Zambia. I must tell you, and this is worthy of note, before I bring you guys up to this topic, let me give you a bit of backstory. You remember yesterday, was it yesterday? It was yesterday. Wasn't it yesterday? Yes, it was. The 28th of April, as you know, is a public holiday here in Zambia because we celebrate, we remember, we commemorate the day of our first president's birth. He was born on the 28th of April, many, many years ago. And I, as you know, Vice President Nalumango she had a deal where the former President Lungu, and many other people joined her in celebrating this day. What I found interesting was she got up on the podium and she began to speak, and she was the word I would use, and I borrow this word from President Hakainde Hichilema because he was the very first person I heard use this word. When Vice President W.K Nalumango stood up and walked over to the platform to speak, she was extremely magnanimous towards the former president, Edgar Lungu. Did you notice that? She was very magnanimous. She was talking about how Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, because of him, many people, including herself, including the former president, President Lungu, how they benefited from the free education policy of Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. But what I found interesting was how magnanimous she was towards Balungu. She would refer to him in a playful banter and say, Balungu, you remember? And I couldn't help but think to myself that this is what leadership is. Yes, we may be standing on opposite ends of the political spectrum, but it doesn't mean that everything has to be rancor and animosity the way it was in the PF. I mean, during the PF, what happened yesterday could not have happened. Would not have happened. It would have been impossible. During the tyrannical reign of the PF, it would have been impossible for former President Lungu to playfully, to be magnanimous towards the UPND. First of all, the Katas wouldn't even allow President Lungu to do that. They would rise up against whoever was UPND. They would just make sure that arrangement, even the seating arrangement, seating, not sitting, the seating arrangements yesterday, had it been back in the PF, that seating, SEATING, that seating arrangement would have been marred in confusion and violence, because somebody in the MPF would have shouted, but yesterday, here it is, Vice President Nalumango stood up in the presence of former President Lungu. Makambwili was there. Many other people were there, but it was a spirit of magnanimity. I didn't sense any animosity. There was no political angst. There was no political malice. There was no rancor. There was no conflagration. It was in a spirit of oneness and love and magnanimity. And I appreciate that. I really do. Given the backstory, given the history of where we have come from, to finally witness a situation where political leaders can sit in the same space, occupy the same sphere, and display playful banter. I love that. I watched that. Boy, I tell you, it made me proud. It did. And so my message to Vice President W.K Mutale Nalumango, she loves it when you say WK. My message to her is thank you. Thank you for being magnanimous. Thank you for fostering a spirit of oneness. I mean, it was just a beautiful spirit there. I felt it. I was watching it, but I could sense the spirit of playfulness, banterness, and magnanimity. That's the way it should be. Not if you say we payana. Yo, finish my stop. Hey, if you in those days, I thank God. I do. Thank God. What did you think? Did you see that? Tell me what you think. I'm going to throw up your comments here. Did you see it? Did you see it? Mr. Kambwidi, in the PF, you must hear this one. Yes. Absolutely magnanimous indeed. Watch the entire procession. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. I loved it. I love the magnanimity too. Yes, it was. Absolutely. Absolutely. Lovely. Guys, thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves and each other.